Ladies, the women's, TCU and Tennessee tied for the men's team title with 49 points each. But TCU is out of it. Tennessee has a team in the men's 4x400 meter relay. If they finish, they win the championship. LSU, the 2001 collegiate leader, with a time of 3:01.66. And here is Jebra Harris, senior, who will run the leadoff leg for Tennessee.
And as you mentioned, Vern, all they have to do is get the stick around. In fact, get 8th place. But we have seen sticks fall to the ground, and we have seen people run out of their lane. So they're going to be awful careful to make sure they make it around.
They run in lane 2, out in lane 6, Auburn.
Sanjay Ayer will lead off, but their anchor, Avad Mankour, the 6'5" senior from the Bahamas, twice the NCAA champion, the 400 meters, including earlier today. They will be a very strong team.
And the field now for the men's 4x400 meter relay. Ohio State in 1, and Tennessee. Oklahoma runs in 3, Baylor in 4, LSU 5, Auburn in 6, Arizona State, and the Gophers of Minnesota.
We always have to keep an eye on Baylor, and actually, too, they've added Bayano Kamani onto their team, the 400 meter hurdle champion, trying to up their hopes of winning the 4x400 meter championship.
And oh, what could have been if Kim Collins had finished the second place that you would have expected him to. It would have made Tennessee finish second in this race. Really a very large order, probably not one that they could have managed.
It's a fair start, and because of the Collins disqualification in the 200 meter, Tennessee needs to stroll around 4 men handing the baton cleanly.
Like we mentioned, that has been a little bit of trouble for some teams in the past, but it's really interesting to see that team from Tennessee is watching their teammates run around the track, knowing that all they have to do is get 1 point.
Jebra Harris, a senior, leads off for Tennessee. Arizona State, the early leaders. It's Michael Campbell running the leadoff leg. That's Minnesota moving up for the moment.
And all Jebra Harris has to do is make sure he stayed in his lane, make this pass in the zone, and make certain the second man for Tennessee, Hassan Stamps, stays in his lane for this full turn and stays out of trouble, and that'll do it for the Tennessee Volunteers. They will be the team champions for the first time in 10 years.
Baylor, the defending champ, with the lead, and they've got Bayano Kamani running the second leg. A little struggle there. And Kamani has moved into first place. Arizona State second, and LSU is running third. That's Calhoun.
And Kamani, who's finished in the top 2 3 times in the hurdles, including winning this year, doing a nice job. And Arizona State making their presence known with Marcus Brunson, who's had a very busy day today.
They make the exchange. It was a little sloppy. Now it's Arizona State followed by Baylor.
And Tennessee has made it to the 3rd leg. They're in 7th position right now.
Adrian Wheatley is running 3rd for the Volunteers of Tennessee.
And 6th or 7th is really what they were projected for. So again, I hate to keep belaboring the point, but the disqualification and TCU being out of it really could have changed the complexion of this event completely. But look at Baylor. As Carol said, they're always in it in the 4x4. Clyde Hart, coach of Michael Johnson, and so many great teams at Baylor. It's just a pride thing for them.
It's amazing. They will be dead, but they will put 4 guys out on the track that will run the 4x4.
This is Floyd Thompson of Baylor. Arizona State, LSU, and Auburn in that order. And running the anchor for the Bears, Brandon Couch, a senior.
You know, Brandon Couch, when he was a freshman, they really thought a lot of that athlete, and he really did not have the collegiate career that I'm sure Coach Clyde Hart or himself thought that they would have. So for him to win this particular event would be a big thing. But take a look at Auburn. Moving up is Avad Mankour of Auburn.
It's Mankour and Brandon Couch. And back in the pack, but safely so, is Dwayne Bell of Tennessee running the anchor for the Volunteers.
This might just be the final insult for Brandon Couch if Avad Mankour catches him, but Couch is holding him off. The pride of the Baylor Bears in the 4x4 continues.
Here's Couch and Mankour at the tape.
From this angle, it looked like Baylor held them off.
It sure did.
Yes, but there's an Auburn celebration.
There is, and I'll tell you, big Auburn core at 6'5", little Brandon Couts. He held him off. I believe we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
44 flat unofficially for Avad Moncourt, which would normally have seemed to be enough to catch Brandon Couts.
And Auburn did think that they had done it. Brandon Couts of Baylor trying to make his way to the finish line, and Avad Moncourt is just tracking him. But I believe he ran out of space. Couts makes it, just past the line.
1/100 separates the two teams. Not a great time. 3:03.89 is probably one of the slower winning times in the last decade, but Couts leans correctly at the tape, wins it for Baylor by 1/100th of a second. They salvage a little pride out of this 2001 NCAA championship.
Brandon Couts repeats. Men's 4 and the Baylor Bears 4x400 meter relay champions. Guess who finished dead last? But guess who wins the men's team title by 1 point? There's one of them. The Tennessee Volunteers win the men's team championship. They last won in 1991. Where? Here.
And you know what, Vern? Later on, when they put it up, they're going to say Tennessee won. They're not going to tell you how many points they scored. Not very many.
The final results of the men's 4x400 meter relay. Baylor by 1/100th of a second. It was Couts and Moncourt at the finish. Auburn grabs second. LSU moves into third. But Tennessee picks up the all-important single point. We'll hear from the Volunteers when we come back.